All right, so we're going to give people a few minutes here to join us, to have fun, to heal, to join me for the healing meditations. You see that I have my bowls here just for you, ready. We're going to do some beautiful meditations as well all together. And so everyone, just to start off with, a warm welcome. Let's get going. So, I'm so excited. I'm excited and a little bit nervous all at the same time as well. As you know, with each full moon, we feel it. We feel the stress of it. We feel the excitement of it. We feel the emotions of it as well. And full moons, as you know, is designed to bring in vibes. It's going to bring up things that you haven't been looking at. It's bringing up things that it's time to let go of. Whatever you've been trying to ignore, the full moon is going to have it like right there in your face. And I definitely felt the full moon last week. It's very common to feel the effects of the full moon, sometimes 5 days before and even 5 days after. So some of you might be feeling it like really quite intensely on this day, or you might have been feeling it a few days earlier, which it definitely was the case for me. A lot of emotions, a lot of changes that was coming, and the changes that I felt that was coming, which full moons normally bring. It's all about change. It came so fast that I didn't know how to digest it. And there was a part of me that was consciously like, yes, let's do this, let's go, go, go. But my body, my body was like, no, I'm not ready for this. And I felt a massive split in myself last week. It's like there was this part of me that's just dancing and I'm excited and I see the visions, I feel the visions. It's like feeling the feeling of the wish fulfilled. But I felt pain in my body. I felt physical stress in my body. And you have seen, I know that you all know how the moon cycles can have a tremendous effect on the ocean, right? The tides. And we are made of 60-70% water. Now, if the full moon can affect the ocean to such an extent, can you imagine what it's doing to our bodies? And I'm sure you've also come to learn by now that we store emotions in our body as well. Like cognitively, we feel emotions through memories and thoughts. But we also have emotions that can be flaring up in the body, but will be shown in the form of, say, physical pain, maybe headaches, maybe neck pain, maybe leg pain, maybe muscle cramps. That is all because it's built up emotions that's now coming up. And the full moon is amplifying that. It's bringing more of these waves through the body, through the pulsation of your heart, and bringing it through your blood pressure. And then emotions stirring up in specific parts of the body. And every part of your body has a specific emotional little archive of what will be triggered. And normally the area of your body will tell you exactly which emotions are being flaring up, which emotions needs to be dealt with, which emotions have been holding you perhaps back from making this transition, which this full moon is all about. Because I don't know about you, but I have been feeling the back of my neck. I've been feeling the back of my neck, my middle back, and also my ankles and my knees a little bit, especially last week. And this is all perfectly in alignment with what is happening with the full moon. Because this full moon is saying, transformation, let's do this. And then there's also a conflicting vibe coming in that can make you also feel restricted. You know, it's like you see this vision of a beautiful theme park and you just want to run and you want to go, and then all of a sudden there's a roadblock and then there's a long queue and you just, you're excited, you're going to get there eventually, but you just feel like you cannot, like there's all these restrictions. So it's bringing up a lot of triggering, a lot of feelings of maybe powerlessness, feelings of anger, feeling maybe controlled in the direction that you want to move into. If you've been feeling a little bit or probably a lot like that this week, and especially today, and if you don't feel it quite yet, it might hit you in a few more days coming. Mine came a little bit earlier, so I feel like I've I survived my wave, so I'm glad that I did, so that I can be here with you in all form of coherence. And so when you look at neck pain, That's all about feeling controlled in the area that you want to move into your life, the direction that you want to move in. And so in Metaphysical Anatomy, you can also go find out so much more. What is behind neck pain? Maybe you've had more ailments that's being flaring up during this full moon as well. This book will tell you exactly what is happening in your body. Your body is talking. Are you listening? And you might also be feeling your middle back as well. That's all about perhaps feeling controlled and held back by people that you feel you are supposed to support me, but you're not. You're sabotaging me. You're holding me back. Wanting support from all the wrong resources in your life as well. Because maybe you're not allowing yourself to be open to other resources that could be actually of tremendous help to you. Because there's that part of you that feels like, I trust this more, but maybe you trust it more because it feels familiar. And that is exactly what this full moon is asking you. It's time to break the cycle. It's time to break out of that familiarity, habits, cycles that you've been getting stuck in. You know, our comfort zones, we all have that. Now, these comfort zones are great, and it's important to have our comfort zones, but not to the point where it is actually stopping you and blocking you from moving forward and moving on with your life. And relationships especially is coming up quite strongly in the full moon as well, whether it's personal, romantic, whether it's, business dynamics, all types of dynamics where there is an energetic, emotional, and intellectual exchange. Of course, with a vision together of achieving a certain type of goal. That to me creates the definition of a relationship. You might feel a bit of friction there. And the reason why there's friction there is because there's two visions that's trying to come together, but both feeling held back and restricted by the other, purely because of their own inner dialogues that's at war within themselves, but this is now being taken out on each other because there's no other foreseeable outlet or way of actually, blowing off the steam. So mindfulness is really, really, truly asked for. Really, truly asked for this full moon. Otherwise, this transition is going to be a lot harder than what it needs to be. And yeah, some of us, we love drama. We thrive in drama. We thrive during a crisis. That is when we feel clear. That is when we make the best decisions. That is when we feel like we're thriving. Because calmness is something in society that's very, very absent. Peace is very absent. There's always stress. There's always panic. There's always something going wrong or something going on. And we've become accustomed to all this drama and to all this chaos. And it's almost like when things are going well, we do need to fluff things up and disrupt things to create the crisis factor so that we can excel again. Because we associate calmness with failure. We associate calmness with boredom, failure, nothing's happening. But calmness can also be a tremendously huge, powerful factor. Because it is in that place of calmness and stillness where you can find your inner equilibrium, where you can find that inner voice, that messages that your body is trying to communicate to you. Because the more pain that you might have been in the past few days, or probably today even, the more your body is actually telling you, hey, you're not listening to me. Because pain is a call to action. Right? So now you're aware of the pain, you're calling you into action, but now you're sitting, you're like, what action, Evette? Okay, so that's awareness of a problem. And awareness of a problem is a problem half solved. And the other half, you can absolutely grab Metaphysical Anatomy and go find out what are these hidden messages that is in your body. What is it that your body is trying to release? Where does it need to break free from? Because if you miss this cycle, it's going to come up again to the new moon again, and then the full moon again. And you're going to have different waves, and different aspects of your life is going to continue to trigger these unresolved wounds and points in your life. So, of course, we don't always have a positive association with change. We're biologically avoidant of change, which is actually quite funny because when you look at evolution, we actually need to change in order to continue to evolve, right? So we're kind of like defying the natural laws of our biological makeup. And that's only coming from an instinctive reaction in terms of trying to keep safe. And you'll be shockingly surprised by how much your instinctive responses are actually dictating your life. We always think it's the subconscious mind. Well, to a certain extent. But our instinctive responses also has a tremendously big say in terms of whether you move forward, whether you don't, whether things feel safe, whether they don't feel safe. And it's such a subtle part in the body that it's not even subconscious, it's instant. You don't even have time to think about it. The body just reacts. You just feel the distress. And then you react to that, not knowing why. But the reason why you react to it is because it feels uncomfortable. And where things feel uncomfortable, that's often where our intention flows and our emotions flow. But then it also flows away from it because we set up coping mechanisms to run around that. And so by that bypass that you created, we avoid what it is that we need to look at. And that is what this full moon is asking you to look at. Where in your life do you currently feel uncomfortable? Where do you feel stressed? Where do you feel the spotlight has been put? And this can be all areas of your life. You might sit there and think, oh my goodness, every single area feels affected right now. Or there might be one specific area. And normally what that would look like is feelings of agitation, feelings of irritation. And one thing that I've come to learn in my life that I find to be quite true for me is when I look at aspects in my life where things start to become burdening, things are an effort, it's hard, I hate this, I don't like this, I don't want to do this. I noticed that I started to absorb that dynamic very differently, and here's why. There is an experience that you're having in that moment of discomfort. I've come to learn that when things are easy, when things are comfortable, that is when you're moving into the flow of your life. That is free from karmic lessons and experiences. But the moment when something becomes hard, lethargic, I don't want to do this, it's difficult, it's always challenging, you're in the middle of a karmic lesson, of a karmic experience. And so what do? We're avoidant of this discomfort. We try to run away from it. We try to build coping mechanisms around it. And so ultimately what we actually end up doing is that we delay this experience that we need to integrate so that we can move forward, we can move on from that. And so that that area of our life can become comfortable. But we have come to learn to feel comfortable feeling uncomfortable. So what happens is, when things do become uncomfortable, we don't notice it instantaneously. We don't notice it in that moment because we're so desensitized, we're so numb, that when we do notice it, now you're in damage control mode. Now you have a lot of mess to clean up in order for you to move on and away from that. So with this full moon, what I would love to do with you today is to look at where in your life are things feeling uncomfortable? Where are things feeling too much? It's overwhelming. I don't want to do this anymore. I have to do this, but I don't want to. That is where you know you're dealing with something that, of course, is maybe now not necessarily, you might say, well, that's not in alignment with me. Well, okay, well, maybe that's because you feel it's diverting you from where you want to be, but maybe there's a lesson that you need to integrate so that you can get to where you need to be. So we end up defragmenting our sense of self in terms of where it is that we want to go, feeling like it's always a struggle when it doesn't have to be. So take a few seconds right now and just think, where in your life do you feel a pattern of, I have to, I feel obligated. This is the right thing to do. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. Where is the have-tos in your life? And when you have that, I would like you to take a nice deep breath with me because we're going to do a healing meditation now together. Let's take a nice deep breath. And I'm going to talk you through this process, step by step. And here's what I would love for you to focus on. That part of you that feels like, I have to. Let go of needing to know the specifics, the thoughts, anything around that. Just focus on how it makes you feel. it's a challenge. I don't want to do this. I have to do this. And when I say emotion, I mean like one word emotional reactions, not a story, not an explanation. How does it make you feel? And normally often what we come to find is that we feel resistance. And we feel that resistance because that resistance have become your boundary. And I invite you to observe how that part of you that is using that resistance as a boundary, realizing that that is a failed boundary. Because boundaries can be expressed and you can have it with ease and grace. That resistance is only there because in the past you were probably made to feel or believe that you cannot have your boundaries respected. Or that you had to fight for your boundaries. You always had to be in an emotional place and state of crisis before you could feel enough anger or stress in order to express your boundaries. And what this full moon is coming forward and showing you is that you don't need a breakdown or a crisis in order to create what you want, in order to transition to the next step and phase in your life. What if I just told you that it can be easy by you just knowing and understanding and realizing that you just can't have what you want? That maybe there's an old wounded aspect and part of yourself that is convinced or feeling that he or she has to fight for what they want. And that has become your default for manifesting, creating. But look at the platform that you're putting and building your dreams and your goals on. If you have to fight for what you want, then that becomes your foundation. And that means every change that you want to do and create in your life, you're going to have to fight for it. Because that's how you associate success with. That is what you associate transformation and transitions with. So I invite you now here with me today. Let's rebuild that platform. Let's rebuild that foundation. Let's make it easy. Let's make it graceful. And taking a nice deep breath with me. I invite you to feel and connect to that part within you where you felt or could maybe still feel that part of you that's saying, I have to. I don't want to, but I have to. That part of you that perhaps feels the resistance to doing something or creating something. It's like consciously you want it, but your body is feeling resistance. There's tension coming up. I invite you to hear, feel, see, or sense a beautiful light above your head. And this beautiful light is going to represent your consciousness, your awareness that's free from your ego and the physical body. And allowing this beautiful consciousness to drop down, 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 down in your body. to the area where you feel this resistance. As you're feeling that place of resistance within your body, I invite you to just let it be there. Let the resistance just be there. And as you're observing that resistance, I invite you to allow yourself to give that resistance a face or a voice. Maybe there's a message. Maybe someone else's face or voice is coming up. Who is it? Or what is the message? Whatever the answer is, this is what would be a really positive move forward for you. If you can let go of that today. Any stress associated with that message. Just having that message that you have there with you right now. And any emotional stress associated with that. Feeling where in your body do you feel the emotional stress perhaps associated with that message or that person. Where in your body do you feel that? And as you're becoming aware of where you feel the emotional stress inside of the body, I invite you now to allow a beautiful light from your head to flow down, 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 throughout your whole body. Releasing that emotional stress that you're feeling inside of your body right now. And you can also be playful, have fun. Imagine, hear, feel, see, or sense this beautiful energetic stream of light from the full moon flowing down, 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 into your consciousness, into every single cell in your body. Resolving and dissolving that old emotional stress of the resistance and the negative side of the message that you also felt inside of your body. Releasing. I invite you to feel that the more you resist the shift, the faster it's leaving your body. The more you resist it, the more it's just releasing, moving down, 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 down into the earth. Going, going, gone. I invite you now to think about, what do I need to believe in myself in order to know that I can transition through this beautiful new phase in my life with ease and with grace. What do you need to believe in yourself in order to know that you can transition through this beautiful new phase in your life with ease and with grace? And as you're becoming aware of that, I invite you to hear, feel, see, or sense a beautiful ball of light in front of you. It's almost the size of a basketball. Or it could be any size, in whichever size it represents itself to you. And allowing yourself to hear, feel, see, or sense that beautiful emotional resource of what you needed to believe in yourself in order to know that you can transition without having to fight for what you want and need. And feeling these beautiful resources in this ball of light. Bringing that beautiful ball of light into your chest, merging into your heart, spreading out through every single cell in your body. Take a nice deep breath. Together, let's also do the alpha brainwave state that will allow us to integrate these beautiful changes with ease and with grace. We're going to be breathing in the mouth, out the nose 13 times. And on the last breath, we're going to hold it for as long as we can. Let's start. Breathing in the mouth, out the nose, 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 in the mouth, out the nose. You're doing great. In the mouth, out the nose. In the mouth, pick up the pace. Out the nose, In the mouth, out the nose, in the mouth, and hold. Hold your breath for as long as you can. Allowing yourself to drop into that dizziness. Feeling how your body is resetting itself. Easing into these beautiful new changes. Positive affirmations together. I call my power back from people who made me feel I had to fight for what I want. I call my power back from feeling challenged in my life. I call my power back from circumstances that made me feel that I have to do things in my life. I call my power back from people who made me feel disrespected on my journey of change. I call my power back. I call my power back. I call my power back. And taking a nice deep breath. And for those of you also maybe were watching us in different channels and you dropped off, we will be also playing a replay. So don't worry. You're exactly where you need to be. Just allowing your body to drop down into the earth, growing roots down into the earth. Allowing yourself to ground. Grounding all this beautiful new changes and knowing and understanding that change and transformation can be easy and graceful. And knowing that you no longer have to fight for what you want. It is your birthright to just have it. And remember that also during these times of lockdown, COVID, sometimes our movement is limited. And I invite you to go within with me, using MAT and also free healing meditations that we will be having live, more so on Zoom as well. And you can go to evetterose.com to find out where we are, what is happening, and join me live also to interact and to ask questions. And also to heal with me. because it is my intention to help you to set yourself up for success. Thank you so much for joining me for this beautiful full moon. And remember, you are exactly where you need to be in your life. And until next time, be the light that you are. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm sure that you learned a lot. So guys, subscribe to my channel here and also hit the notifications bar, and so that you can get notified every time when I upload a new video. So guys, also remember to share the video and also look out for courses that I have below in the description bar. And until next time, be the light that you are.